Hello again, my name is Mike Vorel with Pokes Authority and the Casper Star-Tribune, and this is the Pokes Authority Vidcast brought to you by Wyoming Central Federal Credit Union. Wyoming is back at it on Wednesday after going 11-2 in non-conference play. They start out the Mountain West season by hosting UNLV on New Year's Eve inside the Arena Auditorium. It's going to be a heck of a matchup. This is a UNLV team that in non-conference play picked up the biggest non-conference win for the Mountain West this year, a victory over Arizona at home last week. Coach Shyatt said it was the signature win for the Mountain West thus far. And they're a very, very talented group. If you look at their team, they're led by Rashad Vaughn, a freshman guard who's 6'6", can do a lot of things. He's averaging 18 points per game this year. He was one of the biggest recruits in the country, and he chose UNLV last season, and he's having an immediate impact. The Runnin' Rebels also feature a nice interior with Christian Wood, a sophomore big man. He stands 6'11", and is averaging more than 14 points and 10 rebounds per game. He's going to be a handful for Larry Nance Jr. and Derek Cook, Wyoming's big men, to defend and rebound against on Wednesday night. It's going to be a big challenge. And I talked to Larry Nance Jr., the preseason player of the year in the Mountain West, about wrapping up the non-conference season and looking ahead to Mountain West play. Here is that interview.
All right, I'm here with senior forward Larry Nance Jr. Larry, obviously coming off of a little bit of break here. You got UNLV, and it's a different UNLV team than the one you've seen in the past. Does it seem like you're preparing for a whole new team with all those fresh faces?
It does a little bit. They lost a bunch of guys I knew last year and brought an entirely new. I think it was a top 5 recruiting class this year. So obviously there's some talented freshmen on that team, talented younger guys, and they still have their one vet, Jelon Kendrick, and he's good as well. He'll lead the team. But it is almost like we're playing an entirely new team. So I don't know. This film's going to be pretty new to me.
Yeah, I mean, with coming out of non-con 11-2, how would you kind of assess you guys as far as where you think you are? How satisfied, I guess, were you, and where do you think you need to, I guess, take steps going into conference here?
Well, there are a few areas where we're doing excellent in, and obviously defense is one of them. Where I think Coach Shyatt said we're top 3 in the nation in points allowed, so that's outstanding. And obviously we're the most unselfish team in the nation right now. But with free throws, we got to get that back up to 80, and defensive rebounding, we got to get that back up to 75, 72, somewhere in there. And really, if we can do that, we'll win a whole lot of games in this conference.
Gotcha. I mean, how do you feel like you feel, and maybe how do you feel like the team is right now coming out of that break where you had a little bit of a bye or a little bit of a week off in between games there, but now to get the time to go home, how do you think the guys are kind of refreshed coming into this next stretch?
Great. Just watching practice, being down at practice there, everybody's got their legs back, everybody's feeling all right, bumps and bruises are all gone and stuff like that. So it's almost like we're starting an entirely new season.
Sounds good. Thanks, Larry.
After wrapping up the UNLV game, Wyoming will hit the road this Saturday and go to San Jose State, a team that has had its fair share of problems, to say the least, so far this year. The Spartans are 2-10 this season, and their only wins are against Bethesda and St. Catherine. So not much of a resume for San Jose State so far. They also only won one conference game last year. It looks like they're not going to be able to top that by very much this time around either. So when you look at this game, Wyoming should win handily, but it's really about doing what they like to do. Playing defense, getting a rhythm offensively, just gathering momentum going into the border war the following week against Colorado State. If you're Larry Shyatt's team, you can start to look past San Jose State and look towards that Colorado State game. You got to focus on every game. You can't afford a loss on the road against a team like San Jose State. You got to pick up every one of these games, and that's going to be a big one for them to gain some momentum on Saturday night. That's it for this time. Until next time, my name is Mike Vorel. Take care.